If you were to find yourself in the jaws of a great white shark, how would you protect yourself? Now, a lot of people don't really know how to defend themselves from a shark attack. In this video, I'm going to show you how. In this case scenario, I am snorkeling off the coast of Florida. I've now been attacked by a great white shark. It has my left hand in its jaws. What I'm going to do with my right hand is jam it in its eyeball or in its gills. Now, white sharks have a protective eyelid that goes around their eyes, so you really have to take your thumb and jam it into the eyeball of the shark. Otherwise, going for the gills, which is how sharks breathe, will probably be your best bet. Now, luckily for me, the shark has decided to let go. Sharks don't really want to eat you. Sharks, when they actually take the first bite, are going to feel the bones in our arms or in your leg or in your chest cavity or wherever they actually end up biting you. And they don't really want to actually eat a really bony creature. So most shark attacks, a shark will actually end up biting someone and then spitting them out. They don't want to, try to eat you. Especially with great white sharks. Great white sharks, when they're hunting seals, oftentimes do their Blair's breach. They will end up biting the seal and letting them bleed out and die, and then eating them. A shark is going to bite you, feel the bones, and decide to swim off. So now you've survived, the first bit of the shark attack, the actual bite. Now you need to do a couple of things to make sure you actually survive. One, don't panic. Most shark attacks that happen, people end up panicking, they can end up drowning, end up putting themselves at even more risk. Remain calm. That's your biggest... that's your number one thing, is to always remain calm. Number two, I really hope you have a dive buddy. You always want to be swimming with a dive buddy. Never, ever swim in the ocean without somebody with you. And your dive buddy is now going to be the person that keeps you alive. They need to stop the bleeding with a tourniquet or whatever else and make sure first aid is on the way. A lot of times, shark attacks that actually end up being deadly are because people can't get help. If you can't get help, you will bleed out and die. If you can stop the bleeding, you can wait for there to be first responders on scene, and you'll probably live. A lot of times, I've really never heard of anyone being transported to the hospital and dying or succumbing to shark attack wounds. It just doesn't really happen. I have heard of people dying and bleeding out, waiting for first responders because they were swimming remotely, but the chances are when first responders get there, you're probably going to live, especially in the United States. It's very likely that you're somewhere where an ambulance could reach you in 20 to 30 minutes, and then they can decide if they're going to transport you to a hospital or if they're going to have you airlifted out. But people that tend to die to shark attack wounds are swimming very remote, they don't have help, they can't get to help in time, and they die. Also, keep in mind, shark attacks are incredibly rare. The odds of me being bitten by this shark unprovoked swimming in the ocean are incredibly low. Keep in mind, you're more likely to die from a bolt of lightning or an actual falling coconut than a shark. Now, this is where we can dive into different sort of shark attacks. Unprovoked attacks, like if I were swimming with this great white shark and it decided that I was a threat to it and it attacked me in self-defense. That's on me. I crowded the shark, I got in its space, it attacked me. Sharks, like black-tip reef sharks, actually give you a warning signal. They arch their back. Now, if a shark is arching its back and clearly acting aggressive towards you, it's time to get out of the water. Another thing that you can do to help make sure you aren't attacked by a shark is by swimming with a buddy. Sharks are, like great whites, are not likely to attack you if you have a dive buddy with you or you're swimming in a large group and making a lot of noise and ruckus. They're just not worth it to them. 2, don't swim at dusk or dawn. This is when sharks, not even great whites, but bulls, tigers, these are when these sharks are most active. They're hunting. If you're swimming out in waters that are infested with sharks and you're out alone at night, you are putting yourself at risk. That isn't even on the shark. If it's a form of misidentification like most great white shark attacks are, that's on you. You put yourself in a bad spot, especially if you're swimming at dusk or dawn by yourself. If you do everything right, you're probably not going to be attacked by a shark. But keep in mind, this is a wild animal. It could attack you unprovoked. It does happen. But if you make sure you have all the right places at step, you remain calm after it happens, and you have someone who can help stop the bleeding, you're probably going to be okay. Yes, shark attacks suck. People oftentimes end up losing their legs, or they're left with scars and terrible memories. I'm not trying to take away from that. But if you do everything right, you probably will end up being perfectly okay. And remember, out of the millions of people that swim in the ocean, only a handful, like 7 or 10 people a year are actually attacked by sharks. And out of that, being fatally wounded and killed by a shark is really, really rare. In fact, recently there was a swimmer from the UK swimming off the coast of California, and he was attacked by a juvenile white shark. It bit him in his leg, in his ankle, and he should make a full recovery. It really isn't that sharks see people as a food source. These are not creatures that are out actively hunting humans. It's oftentimes misidentification due to bad eyesight, or people get into provoked shark attacks where they end up provoking the creature, or they're diving with them and they do something stupid and they actually end up getting bit by the shark. That isn't the shark's fault. Unprovoked attacks, like misidentification, are the common cause of shark attacks with great white sharks. And that is, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot you people can do about that. Some of the things you can do is not surf near spots where white sharks have been actively hunting. Especially if you see seals around, I would definitely not surf, because white sharks could definitely misidentify you as a seal, and then you have a 2,000-pound creature coming from 50 feet below, hitting you at 60 miles an hour. That's gonna suck. It's gonna hurt. You're gonna lose a leg, possibly, or even worse, end up losing your life. Anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope it's made you just a little bit smarter. Remember, if you respect sharks, you respect the ocean, you should be perfectly okay. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you're not already subscribed, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And comment down below your thoughts on great white sharks and shark attacks. And if you think there's going to be more science in the future that helps take away the dangers of swimming with sharks entirely and make it to where shark attacks unprovoked are almost unheard of. They already pretty much are, but it never helps to be just a little bit more cautious. Anyways, like I said, make sure to like button, subscribe, join the Discord link down below in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.